Hello, Galaxy! I'm Chris Pirillo, and in case you missed it, I have already unboxed my Legacy pack with this stand that I assembled live on Facebook. This is ready to accommodate the first 12, which are really not the first 12, but the 40th anniversary of the first 12 on a stand that I did not previously have. I don't have the vintage stand. I like the back more than the front, but what they did is made it such that this is reversible. Okay, and I also got a separate one for Jedi. So Jedi is going to have her own stand for her 6-inch figures. As a recap, this is the Darth Vader figure that was included in the Legacy Pack. I do believe, according to Yakface, these will be individually available as a part of the first 12, which are not really the first 12 of the Black Series figures, specifically 6 inches, those that stand in that scale. This is going to remain in the container right here. This is pristine, this Darth Vader. It's perfect. I love it. It's been sitting up next to my 12-back Darth Vader that I've had that is AFA graded. But over the weekend, I was able to complete the initial run of this particular series as a part of the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. There's the little logo you'll see on a variety of products there. I was worried because R2-D2, for a lot of people, has been very challenging to find, because they only release one to a case. And so you're lucky if you're the first one there. I was lucky not just to find one, but two. And I'm really lucky 3 times over. Not because I have 3, but because I missed the first time Hasbro released this scale of R2-D2 with the Black Series. It's always been in the 6-inch scale. It's just that I didn't collect the Black Series in the beginning because it just wasn't my scale. Still really isn't my favorite scale, although I have started to collect and, go back and get ones that I might have missed, that I might have been interested in, but I wasn't a completist for this scale. You can't be a completist anymore with anything. So I'm happy to have 2 of the R2-D2, and I plan on opening this one, if only because the corners crunch. The other one's going to get showcased somewhere else. I also wanted to make note, because some people are wondering if they're going to continue to produce all the Star Wars figures in this scale specifically, and looking like the classic Kenner cards. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't know if I would expect them to do that. They might. I'm not saying that they won't, and certainly collectors will just go gaga, if only because, hey, we're seeing Kenner on the store shelves for the first time in, like, forever, and that's so awesome. I loved Kenner. Not just Star Wars toys. I was also a fan of Mask toys as well. Specifically the figures. Always a fan of the figures. Even the smaller figures. Not so much the bigger ones. The smaller ones, certainly. So, I got an R2-D2. I got 2 R2-D2s. Very happy about that. I will be opening that one soon. I'm not going to do any unboxings there. I've seen quite a fair amount of Obi-Wan Kenobi on store shelves, and I think, and I'm talking about this one, not the one that has been in the newer designed Black Series packaging with the red sides and the numbers. But specifically this one, the 40th anniversary one, if only because this is a newer release of the Black Series versus, let's say, R2-D2, which was an older release of the Black Series. So seeing this recarded was awesome. Or repacked, sorry, not recarded, repacked. That is a design that really, if it was modified, it wasn't modified that much. This, I think, collectors are going nuts over because you can't find these as easily as you might be able to find an Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I've seen a few Obi-Wan Kenobi out there. This one may likely get opened, if only because the corner on this one is also crunched. And I'm going to do my best to keep these in decent shape, because they do display amazingly well. And even though I have no simple way of displaying all of them, they look nice, even stacked next to each other like that. So I got an Obi-Wan Kenobi. I actually have 2, and I had 2 before I knew one corner was damaged. Also seen a handful of Luke Skywalker Farm Boy out there, and I believe that to be the case as well, because it is also a newer Black Series figure release. It's new on the card in the sense that the card design, I think, is going to be a limited run for the first 12, but I think we can find, if you were just going to chase the figure, Luke is readily available in other packaging. But I really honestly think that this is going to be a full run that every collector is going to get, and I don't know if they're necessarily going to be worth a lot of money. It's just, collectors are seeing a classic card design with a classic name and classic characters, just not in a classic scale. I looked at my open Han Solo, because I had an open one, and I have 2 of Han Solo now. if only because the corners on this one's crunched. The interesting thing is, yeah, you get the duplicate hands like you did before, but I don't know if he had both his holster and the Stormtrooper belt on the one that I had opened up a while ago that I believe was sent to me by Dorkside Toys. So it was just interesting, and some other people made note of that as well. I'm not, doing a side-by-side at this point in time, but I just wanted to show you the ones that I had to complete the collection. And, in fact, the collection's not yet complete outright. One of the characters not in the first 12, right there, or at least on the back, R5-D4, a GameStop exclusive. I found three of these. One to, of course, hold on to indefinitely in packaging. One for Jedi to open, and she did that already in a video that you likely saw. And then, of course, one for me to open and play with. The head clicks as you turn it one direction, so kind of a classic click. It's definitely got a different kind of feel to it, but it's nice. It was nice. I caught that touch, if that's what Hasbro intended. So I appreciated that. That is one that you're not going to see, on the checklist, nor will you see the Luke Skywalker X-Wing outfit or uniform, fatigues, whatever, a Celebration exclusive that was just yesterday enabled, possible to purchase online in Hasbro's store. So I was lucky enough to get in there within the first few minutes. It was MTFB WY on Twitter, may the force be with you, he uses that name. He tipped me off to let me know that there was a stump page for the Luke from Celebration to be sold. I got in there within the first few minutes, ordered two, one to open, one to keep in the package. So that's another one you're not going to see in the particular checklist, but I don't have that with me right now. I will be doing another video in relation to the Star Wars collectibles in and around the 40th anniversary. So there's my R5-D4, and then Princess Leia is also a part of this particular series. One thing that collectors already know that many people don't know is that if you were to get a 6-inch scale Princess Leia Organa, this is the one to get, specifically the one on the 40th anniversary card. If only because her face sculpt is more like Carrie Fisher than the first one. The first one, God, when I saw that, I was just, okay, I'm going to say it, kind of appalled, shocked, really. It was a horrible face sculpt. I've never been a huge fan of human likenesses in figurines, but I really feel they just totally missed the mark on the first run of Princess Leia with the face sculpt. This is closer to Carrie Fisher's likeness. Closer. I don't think they fully nailed it, but it was better than the one we had before, which reminded me a lot of the woman from Fifth Element, who came in. She was a part of the military when Corbin Dallas was in his apartment, and then he shoved everybody in the refrigerator and freezer and shower and everything. That's what the first Leia sculpt looked like to me. The second one looks fantastically better. So there is, I don't know if I can set things up so that you can see all of them necessarily, and I want to be careful because I don't want to drop everything. But I'll just show you a handful of them again. My current array of 40th anniversary figures that I'm going to keep. Some of them opening, or some of them to be open, some of them to be closed. I really appreciate Hasbro doing this. It was a nice touch. As a collector, I could always wish for more. I could always want for more, and I'm happy they did something. Something like this, I think, is a lot of fun. Don't yet know how or where they're going to be displayed, but I'm very much looking forward to the next run, if only because they have not released a Death Squad Commander in the 6-inch scale yet. A Tusken Raider we knew was coming, but that one is certainly coming. Jawa, and I think the rest have been released. So those three I'm very much looking forward to getting in this scale, specifically on this card, at some point in June this year. It'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully this was a lot of fun for you. Not as much fun as it was for me. May the Force be with you.